Yes. We are live and in color. Beautiful. Thank you all for coming in on today's show. Again, this is your host, Champ Franklin, and we are live and in color. All right, here we go. Getting started right here. Yes, absolutely. Welcome. Intimate Discoveries, Unveiling Connections, the podcast where redefining the conversations around intimacy. In a world where connections often feel superficial, we dive deep, exploring the layers of what it truly means to be intimate. This isn't just another love talk. This isn't just another talk show. This is a groundbreaking journey through intimacy's cognitive, emotional, sexual, and spiritual aspects. In each episode, we dive deep, right? Uncovering myths, peeling back layers, engaging with experts, and having real life stories, and uncovering insights that challenges everything you thought you knew about closeness in relationships. Whether you're navigating in the complexities of love, seeking deeper connection, or just curious about the unspoken intricacies of the human bond, Intimate Discoveries is your guide through the maze of modern relationships. Tune in Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. as we unravel the secrets of what it truly means, truly meaningful connections. Intimate Discoveries, Unveiling Connections, where every episode is one step closer to you experiencing the soul of meaningful relationships. Thank you all so much. I am your host, Champ Franklin, and I tell you, we got an amazing moment right now. I have a gentleman coming in who is a motivational speaker, speaks all around the world, and he has seen a lot. There's one thing he has not seen. He has not seen 3 years of marriage. He's been married only 2 years. And so we're here with him today to talk about intimacy and his perspective to answer our question, because our question that we're wanting to figure out is how is it that we get intimacy wrong? And without further ado, I got my guy on board. His name is Frankie. I'm Champ Frank, and this is no correlation. We just connected. The life has just brought us together. And so, Frankie, are you there?
I am there, sir.
Oh, beautiful. We can hear you loud and clear. Just want to let everybody know.
Cool.
So just give us a little bit about yourself, Frankie. Talk to us, and we want here's something. Here's some background of you. Give us a little bit.
Well, I am from the island of St. Lucia. Uh, I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. Been here since 2008. Um, I would like to consider myself a people observer.
Mm-hmm.
I like to observe the human species and just kind of come up with I think we are walking contradictions. So I like to observe that and just see how it plays out between
Okay.
people. I love to motivate, inspire people to be themselves, inspire others to you know embrace the fact that they're different. And
Mm-hmm.
even though we may have similar backgrounds, similar interests, there's always that slight thing that just make us different from the next person.
Absolutely. Well, excellent. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is to give you a little bit of background, Intimate Discoveries. I am the founder, and so I'm on this quest right now. Just a little bit back history. I was married 22 years.
Okay.
Just went through a divorce a year and a half ago, and prior to my divorce, as she was leaving, she would start having an affair. Right, she was
Yeah.
doing her thing, and I can see I'm in Okinawa, Japan. I can see this whole thing going on the camera, right?
Oh wow.
And I started studying intimacy, clinical sexuality coach, and learning this stuff. And the reason why I started studying was because she was a licensed marriage and family therapist, and so we were doing retreats in Blue Ridge, Georgia. We had everything, and so things were going well, right? And so I
Yeah.
wanted to learn more because I was getting ready to retire, and then there you have it. I'm seeing this thing going before my eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh! And so as I'm still studying, I come across well, first of all, I learned that a woman has 14 arousal zones. I'm a certified clinical sexuality coach. I'm like, damn. I know I missed at least there are 14. I know I missed 8 of them. Right? Do you know how many arousal zones a woman have? Did you know?
I didn't know the quite number, but I know there's a lot, and
Okay.
just on that little that little part of their body that we call a clitoris, it has a lot of sensation on it. So
Right. So this is a good time that you're on this because the clitoris is not an arousal zone.
okay.
The clitoris is not an arousal zone. So an arousal zone, one of the biggest ones is her brain,
Okay.
right? The nape of her neck, her back, her stomach, her pubic mound, her arms, her feet, right?
Yeah.
Just naming a few of them, right?
Hmm.
An elbow, right? The middle of her arm, her hand, her wrist, right? Wherever, even her back, you tickle, the small of her back, just touching that right there, the back of her neck, right? Just causes her to feel some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I had that those things were there, right? Toes, right? But and that those were arousal zones that would get her aroused, right? And would be more fun, right? It's like
Yeah.
having a Mercedes Benz S600 and you never turn on the heated seats,
Oh man.
right? So that's what and so as I'm looking at this thing I'm studying intimacy, and then I come across this book. She Comes First, and then I learned that because it's about fellatio, and it started talking about how make sure your hands and stuff are well manicured. If you're gonna go down there, make sure your face is well shaved and groomed and stuff, because that stuff hurts, right?
Yeah.
And then I was reading this book, The Woman's Anatomy of Arousal, and so she was like, hey, um never enter a woman unless she is highly aroused because it hurts.
Yeah.
And it just really just blew my mind that I knew that I was there a couple times, or a lot of times, where she wasn't highly aroused, and I heard her.
Yeah.
And so I started doing the math. Right, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I just did this 2 times a month, that was 480 times that she was hurt. That had I just listened or did something different, that she could have we could have had a great sexual pleasure. So it was very apparent to me why this other guy was there with her, because he listens.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, right? So I'm studying, I come across this definition of intimacy, right? And so I wanted to hear what your perspective is on intimacy and how intimacy has played a role in your life.
Um, I think intimacy for me personally is like almost the whole package. Um,
Okay. What
that's
package?
the package in that it's almost like the newness of a relationship. When
Mm-hmm.
you first get into meet someone, y'all spark each other's interests, and everything is just flowing perfectly. Um, you're sharing how the things you like to do. She's sharing the things she likes to do,
Okay.
and you have that discord, and y'all find that natural match, and you're like, oh my god, this is perfect. And it seems like that's almost the peak of intimacy in a lot of relationships, is at the beginning.
Okay. And so how do you sustain that?
Sustaining that's the tricky part, because I think people just get complacent. I think people get a little delusional at times with
Mm-hmm.
we as men, we to put it so bluntly, women, they say women get married for financial stability and protection and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and men usually get married so they don't have to work as hard to get what they want. which is
Get,
we all know what guys want, right?
no, we don't know what guys want.
Guys want
What
to
they want.
have guys usually want to just have sex. Like that's usually what's on most men's mind. Like just get
Right.
straight to it, and that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. So I think when you get married, you tend to like not have as much focus on bringing, like you said, the arousal zones and
Hmm.
doing all those things that you would normally do in the beginning.
Right.
And
Right.
you just kind of get lazy, you kind of get complacent, like
Right.
oh, why she don't want to come on to me, or I might not,
Right.
you let your ego get the best of you in a sense.
Okay. All right. All right. Good. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm gonna share one thing with you, right? Because this is all a learning experience for you. So a Princeton behavioral economist asked 1,000 women which life activities made them happiest. What do you think that was?
What life activities make them the
Which
happiest?
life activities made them the happiest?
Vacations.
Okay. Good. 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 And do you have another one?
um, I would say going out on dates.
Going out on dates. Okay. All right. Perfect. So women rank sex as the number one activity that made them the happiest.
Oh wow. Okay.
So to say that women don't get married for sex is something that we need to clean up a little bit
Yeah.
because you have that on your hard drive that your wife don't really care about sex.
I won't say she doesn't care about it. I would say she probably doesn't think of it as much as probably I do, or
Oh,
a man
beautiful,
does. You
beautiful,
know what I
beautiful.
mean?
And this
It's
is
not it's
something.
not it's not to say that it doesn't make her happy. It's just I, to me,
Mhm.
I'm coming from a place where I used to think about it all day.
Right,
Now
right.
not so much because I have other things I got to focus on, and you
Hmm.
know building a future and stuff like that
Right,
is more of my focus now. But when I was single, that was
right,
kind of my mind frame. Like, hey, let's
right.
just think about it.
Right, absolutely. So let me ask you this here, right? Do you know what most the best experience that anyone could ever encounter in the world is?
The best experience?
The best experience, the best feeling that anybody could ever attain. Do you know what that is?
No.
All right, it's a female orgasm.
Okay.
So, the greatest gift, the greatest experience that anyone could ever have in the world is a female orgasm. And so to say that, and one of the things that I learned is that one of the reasons why um, women don't really have enjoy sex with some men is because we're not fun,
Yeah.
right? Right?
True.
'Cause you just want it just your way. And there was I'm throwing numbers out there, and there was a study of 555 women, and they asked them what is the easiest way for you to experience an orgasm. What do you think? No, I'll just tell you. Only 6% of them said that straight penetration was the easiest way for them to have an orgasm.
Yeah.
6%. So to have that conversation, to be able to have a safe space where you can even have that conversation with her to say, hey, what's the best way for you to experience it?
Yeah.
Where you can, which way do you want to go? Because there, in fact, I told you there was 14 arousal zones, right?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that there were also 5 erogenous zones around her vagina and inside her vagina.
Okay.
So we got 14 plus 9, right? No, 14 plus 5, 19.
Yeah.
19 areas on a woman, right? That can bring the most exhilarating experience. And we miss it. I,
Gotcha.
I know I missed it. Do you think you're missing something?
Of course.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the definition of what intimacy is, right? And then we're gonna continue to build upon that, right?
Yeah.
And so this is what helped me really through my mind and helped me to really see um, that I had it all wrong, right? And so intimacy is we define it as intimacy is the level of commitment, positive, affective, cognitive, and physical closeness one experiences with a partner in a reciprocal, although not necessarily symmetrical relationship. I'm going to say that again. Intimacy is the level of commitment and positive, affective, cognitive, and physical closeness that one experiences with a partner in a reciprocal, although not necessarily symmetrical relationship.
Okay.
All right. Now, there are four core components of intimacy, right? The first one is cognitive intimacy, right? Which is just exchanging thoughts,
Yeah.
sharing thoughts and ideas with another person. So you can actually be intimate with your wife at the lowest level, just exchanging thoughts in a positive, effective cognizant that she walk away with a level of closeness that you have provided her just by sharing a thought and giving her a safe space where she can truly share,
Yeah.
right? And then the second level is emotional intimacy, exchanging feelings with another person, which is deeply rooted in the value of self disclosure,
Okay.
right? So we got cognitive, and then we have emotional. How are you? What? How are you? What do you? When you on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate your emotional vocabulary?
I'm emotional vocabulary. I think it's about a 9.
About a nine.
Yeah.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you say you have a 9 out of 10 emotional vocabulary. All right. So name me 12, because you 12 emotions, 12 feelings,
12 feelings.
12 feelings. Yeah.
Sadness, happiness, love. Um, I don't know. Joy would be one.
Okay. All right.
Anger,
Anger. Okay. This is
disappointment,
5.
disappointment.
Disappointment. 6.
Um,
All right.
I'm,
Perfect.
I'm sure I could think of a little more,
Okay.
but
Perfect. No, you said you were 9 out of 10. You should at least ran them off, right?
yeah.
Right. So let me say this here, right? So one of the things that I realized that um being married, that I was emotionally numb because I grew up in a drug house.
Okay.
My dad was shot when I was in 6th grade, and so growing, taking care of my dad and and feeding him heroin, cocaine, and all other stuff required me to be emotionally numb so I can do what my dad needed me to do. Right.
Yeah.
So when it came to emotional intimacy, I didn't exchange feelings, not the real feelings, right? Because I remember I can't be, sad or scared, right?
Yeah.
Right. So because you're not you can't express sadness and you can't express scared, right? We have on the feelings list. So under because you can't express scared, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 feelings, right? That your wife could present to you that you can't even connect with,
Yeah.
right? And because you can't be sad, right? You got another 12. So right now you got 24 opportunities to connect with your wife. And like me, right? Um, the the operator says, "Sir, I'm sorry that call does not go through. Sir, I'm sorry. You have yet to energize that area.
Yeah.
So we cannot make that connection. I'm sorry, sir, that call does not go through. So how do you feel now understanding that? Because have you ever told anybody that you feel crushed?
Yeah,
You say, I feel crushed.
yeah.
You say, I feel
Defeated.
inadequate.
I feel defeated. I feel like I'm not good enough. I've said
Okay.
those things to people.
You said you feel defeated. You're not insecure, but
Yeah,
I ask you, but insecure is a part of scared,
yeah,
right? And so that's what we want. That's what we're talking about. Being mad, angry, rage, hateful, critical, right? Frustrated, selfish, right? You're not mad. You're selfish,
yeah,
right? And but only way you can actually experience these is if you have a safe space and someone has given you permission to feel,
yeah.
right? All right. So what? Now we're looking at this. So how does this play now into how you see your marriage and how do you see um because you've been married 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so one of the things that you have to look at. Oh, I didn't finish the other parts, other components of intimacy. All right, so we got the lowest level is cognitive intimacy, like we
Mm-hmm.
said, exchanging thoughts and ideas with another person. Then we got emotional intimacy, which is exchanging feelings with another person, which is deeply rooted in value of self disclosure. And then we have sexual intimacy, which is being attracted to another person and choosing to share one's body in a form of physical contact. It's touching, right? Affection and sexual activities.
Yeah.
Right? That's sexual intimacy. And then we have spiritual intimacy, which is sharing thoughts and feelings regarding religion, right?
Okay.
And morality, right? So, but spiritual intimacy goes, up and down, and it can be synonymous with any of these areas, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that is because intimacy is a level of commitment. Are you familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
No.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs says um, that the lowest need that a person has is food, water, physiological needs, which is food, water, shelter, and warmth,
Okay.
right? And then there's the safety need. So after you gotten your food, water, and shelter, your next need is to feel safe,
Safe. Okay.
right? And then your after that need is after the food and the safety need is fulfilled, then you have the emotional need, which is the feeling of loving and belonging,
Yeah.
and that's a hierarchy, right? You can't skip, right? And then there's the esteem need, which once you have gotten your food, water, shelter, warmth, safety need, and loving and belonging, you start feeling good about yourself,
Yeah.
about your relationship, right?
Yeah.
And then the self actualization, which is at the top, where creative activities can flourish, right? So, in order for us to be able to experience emotional intimacy, there has to be a safe space, right? You got to have a safe space,
Yep.
right? So, what you have? What problem do you think um, happens? And what challenge do you see any challenges with having a safe space in your marriage?
I would say in the beginning of our relationship, there was it was a challenge
Mm-hmm.
just to find out how each person communicates, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I won't say the buttons that we kind of press, but like just to learn our communication skills because everybody's very different. So
Right. Right.
her
So
communication skill versus mine will be vastly different.
right. So I want to run some numbers by you. Um, that in America, right, it's the sixth largest. It's ranked number six when it comes to divorce, right?
Hmm.
With this 40 to 50% of married couples file for divorce each year. 40 to 50%, right? and African American women divorce rate is higher than any other women of any other race. They're at a 38.9%. Do you can you think of why that is the case that black African American women, black women have the highest rate of divorce amongst any other women of race?
Um, I could think of several reasons, but
Okay, well, just give me two.
I think it's almost by design, systematically, and I think that uh, just the we're so damaged. As I'm not a Black American, but I can see it from the lens of somebody coming from the islands
Mm-hmm.
coming up here. That it's a lot of damage that's not been resolved. That
Mm-hmm.
that the communication between man, black woman is completely broken down, and it needs a lot of repair. It needs a lot of work.
It needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
What if I told you that it really is not that the mental health component of dealing with unresolved traumas that is important, right?
Mhm.
But do you seeing it when you came to America? And if you needed help with anything, is there like a community that you can go to?
Not so much.
Is there anybody that you can if there's that you know if I can come talk to them or if I wanted to go somewhere, I know that I can be safe in this particular area.
Not no, not so
No,
much.
okay, no. Okay, so can you tell me what have you if you've seen a safe space for a black woman? A
Uh,
recognized a recognized safe space when you came to America and you as you've been observing because you are an observer,
mhm.
right? Have you observed any safe spaces for black women?
No, not too many.
Well,
Other than other black women that kind of share they
other
story.
black women. Okay. That so other black women is the other. That's the only one that
Yeah.
you know.
And nowadays I hear about therapy and stuff like that, but
Therapy and stuff. Okay.
when
Okay.
I first
Perfect.
came up, no, there wasn't too many, no.
Okay. Perfect. So and then so have you observed any safe spaces for black men?
Man, not really.
Not really.
No.
Okay, all right, perfect. So it is safe to say that one of the reasons why black women, out of all other women who divorce, their rate is high, is because they do not have a safe space.
Okay.
Whereas we know when a white woman calls the police, somebody's coming to help her.
Yeah.
Indian woman, somebody's protecting her. She ain't nobody calling her a B, nobody degrading her. Matter of fact, when it comes to white women, you know how what we degrade them as Karen, and Karen is a whole person,
Yeah.
whereas a B is only good for making babies, and that's it,
Yeah.
right? And so when it comes to a safe space, so now that we don't have there's not a safe space for a black man, right? And there's not a safe space for a black woman, how do black families experience intimacy in their relationships?
It's probably gonna be very difficult.
This is going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, and where's your wife from?
She's from South Central LA.
She's from South, so she's a black American woman, African
Yeah.
American woman.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Right. All right. So, um, one thing you didn't mention was that a black man is a safe space for a black woman, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't say a black woman is a safe space for a black man,
Yeah.
right? So, so by the time we get to, well, let me ask you this here then. So since black men don't make it on the list for as a safe space for black women, what's your plan, right, to convince your wife that you are a safe space?
I tend to try to treat my relationship like a job, or see, I'm an entrepreneur, so
Mhm.
for me, it's I have to do everything a lot by myself, um, which means that I tend to do a lot of things. I tend to wear
Right.
a lot of hats in what I try to accomplish. So I take the same approach in my relationship, in being very attentive to her needs, and communicating if I can't, provide those things at that time, um, and just communicating, checking in frequently. Hey, how you doing mentally? Asking the questions
Mhm.
instead of waiting for her to kind of like tell me stuff. Sometimes I will ask her, even if I had to put it into multiple choice of, just kind of gauging her mood and the emotions, and seeing, hey, what's going on? Did somebody say something to you?
Mhm.
I could kind of tell when something is not right
Mhm.
in that department. And if
Right.
it's me, I'll I tend to make a lot of jokes or crack jokes sometimes, and if I did something, just let me know what it is. You know what I mean? So, um, I tend to just be on top of that a lot.
Okay. So I'll be honest with you. When you said that you treat your marriage like it's a job, a dart went through my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, um, that could hurt because um, and being on here, I'm not going to be judgmental.
Mhm.
Because I had the opportunity to be judgmental, but to relieve me of that, um, can you explain more what that means? That you treat your marriage as if it is a job.
When I
What
say
value that you
when
have
I
on it,
say
the value of it. Yeah.
when I say a job, like I look at a job differently than most people look at a job. Most people look at a job as a 9 to 5, you clock off,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. For me, a job is making sure, I do a lot of painting. I paint homes. I do home service,
Mm-hmm.
business. So I go into these customer homes, and I try to provide as much satisfaction to them while I'm there. While I'm not there, they could call my phone. Hey, I got a problem. I
Mm-hmm.
tend to go above and beyond, just
Right.
because there's a lack of that in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to treat my relationship the same way.
Okay. So
Put
so.
put, it, put as much effort as in it, to be able to get the best out of the situation.
Mhm. So what makes your wife unique if she's like a job?
What makes her unique?
Yeah, if you got, painting, chipping paint, drywall, plaster, customers calling, what makes her unique if she's in a job field, she's in a job pile.
I won't necessarily put it in a job pile. I would When I say a job, it's more of an analogy than to say it's actually a job. When I say
Okay.
job, I mean it's more just so putting in the work, because everybody base everything on love a lot of times. And
Mhm.
people will be like, oh, couple goals. They see when people are friends, or my friends see us, they like, oh, I just want what you guys have. They don't see the work that gets put into behind that. They don't see the constant conversations. They don't see the constant checking ins, constant mental evaluations on both our parts. Hey, I'm not doing so well, I'm gonna need some help this week, or whatever the case is. Like, so it's just that constant communication.
Uh,
So when I say a job is I
okay.
don't want to categorize it as a job. It's more of an analogy. Like, I'm just putting in a level of work that I don't.
Right. So here's another analogy that will probably help you from this point on, right?
Okay.
Right. What's your religious background?
I grew up Catholic.
You grew up Catholic, right? So you all right, so you know that Jesus loved the church, right?
Yeah.
And it says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for it,
Yeah.
right? So that would be a good analogy to refer to your wife. Like Jesus loved the church, that I give my life for her, right?
Yeah.
Don't don't. I ask that you not use that analogy again, because she might not tell you that that hurts.
Okay.
It could hurt, and it's not a good way to because again, job people quit jobs, right?
Yeah.
So there you have the divorces is in the works because again, it's once this job has an ending, right? So, I'm here so that you can have an amazing marriage, amazing relationship. And so, one of the things that we looked at is so does she have? Do you have like anything that she complained about that you don't do?
Um.
You got like four things.
Yeah. I think I could be a little more romantic.
No. So you saying that you have four things, right? Can you come up with four things that she complained about that you don't do, or you can be better in?
Uh. Being more romantic
More romantic.
is one of them.
Okay.
Um. I would say being a better planner.
Being a better planner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. I'm not. Yeah. That's the only. That's. I think that's my two weaknesses.
Okay. 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 Perfect. Right. So right now, so when as I was studying intimacy, right,
Mhm.
and what qualifies me to have these conversations, because I really looked at the hard questions, right? So I went down the list of stuff that my wife asked me to do, right? Like, can you sleep in on the weekend? I'm like, I ain't sleeping in. I'm a military guy. I ain't sleeping in. You kidding me? We get, the army does more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. I'm in the
Yeah.
Navy. I gotta beat the army. So I would say, I would say I gotta wake up the worm for the early birds, right?
Yeah.
Stuff crazy stuff like that. So after 20 years, right, I had like eight or seven or eight things that she was complaining that I wouldn't do in over 20 years. So I said, come on, we've been married 20 years. Come on now, give brother a break. But what I found out is that for me, I took off 10 points for each one of those things that were on the list that I could do. Right.
Got you.
And so after 20 years, I had a 20. I was failing as a husband,
Yeah.
as a high reliable partner. Because you can plan, right? So let me look at this here, right? Let's look at this here, right? So when we go back to our definition of intimacy, right?
Hmm.
Do you remember the definition?
You said that it was. I remember the four intimacy things. It was
No, I'm
cognitive.
not, but I want you to go back to the definition. It's a level of commitment and positive, effective, cognitive, and physical closeness that one experiences with a partner in a reciprocal relationship.
Okay.
Right? You are familiar with fractions, right?
Yeah.
And you cannot divide. How do you divide fractions?
How do you divide? You go with the bottom number. I think from the top number.
Yep, you do the reciprocal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it at the top, right? So what happens if you take 1/5 and you put 5/3, and try to multiply the other fraction? It's not true reciprocation, right?
True.
Right. And me growing up in a drug house, I realized that because I wasn't truly reciprocating, right? Truly giving her what she asked and exchanging it, right? That I skimmed off the top,
Yeah.
right? And if I was in the streets and I was dealing with a drug dealer, I'd be dead by now, right?
Yeah.
So just looking at those two things on your list, if you were, do you have two things on the list for your customers that you don't do?
Probably so. If they mention it, then I'll try to take care of it.
Do you try to take care of it or do you take care of it?
And I'll take care of it.
Perfect. So now you treat your job, your work, your business. This could be positive. This could be partly true, right? You treat your wife just a little bit less than your job because your clients get 100, get what they put on the contract,
Yeah.
right? And you make sure that the contract is fulfilled before you leave. And then they say, hey, you missed something. What do you do?
Go back and take care of it.
Do you go back and take care of it with a smile, or do you go back and take care of it frustrated?
With a smile.
Okay, perfect. So now when your wife tells you that um, you need to be a better planner, how long does it take to get that done?
Uh, I won't say it takes long. I would say it's probably um the
No, you told me
consistency
that.
the consistency behind it.
Right, 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 right. You said the consistency behind it, right?
Yeah.
But you are consistent with your clients, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how do we, and so how do we experience a level of closeness, right? If I can't rely on you to just plan it, to be romantic. It's been like when last time you brought flowers home?
A couple, probably last month.
Yeah, last month, right?
Yeah.
And remember we talked about those arousal zones,
Yeah.
right? And the biggest one is her brain,
Yeah.
right? How you just bringing flowers home. Like I say, and I'm going over stuff that I didn't do. But when I saw this divorce coming down, it's bearing down because the divorce lion roams around seeking who he can devour. And right now he devours 50% of marriages, right? And so here I am sitting in the lion's mouth. Ain't nothing I can do now. Right? And
Right.
I was looking like, man, and I just because she told me she liked flowers. See, these are hard conversations that I had, right? That I was honest with myself. I was like, man, if I just brought flowers home, man, I got like I keep like $70 in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
And the flowers at the grocery store, like you can get them a nice bouquet at like $20. Just bring them home and help her to feel her best, right?
Yeah.
How hard is that?
That's not hard.
Do you think you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say this here, right? Because your wife is she about to have a baby. She delivering a baby tomorrow. Um, that a whole nother. This is this your first child?
Yeah. It's our first child.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is her moment to be identified as a mother. The bringing in your child, made sure that it came through. Did she smoke while during the pregnancy?
No. No.
Did she drink during the pregnancy?
No.
Did she go to McDonald's often? Fast food?
No.
Okay, so she made sure that your baby had the best environment to grow and flourish so that they're given the best possible life, right? Right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what are you taking away from this conversation right now?
It's a lot of wisdom. A lot of
Hmm.
wisdom. Identifying the areas that I can do better. And
So, hmm
just trying to create a, I guess, a more of a higher level of that type of communication.
And the thing is that the reason why I have you on this phone right now on this call is because I do not want you to be on this side of the marriage. I don't want you on this side,
Got you.
because on this side hurts. On this side, children abandon you, right?
Yeah.
They turn on you because when they see their mama crying and they know who did it, they don't feel too pleasant about that, and they then so things um, that you cannot control gets out of control,
Yeah.
and how they feel. And so I don't want you on this side. So now that we're looking at that, right?
Hmm.
So those flowers, those are. Remember we talked about the one other thing that um, I did not learn that while I was married, that there was more to me than just being a provider and protector. You know how they told you that you the man is a provider and protector,
Yeah.
right? There's actually more to you than just being a provider and protector. What's some of the things you think that you are more that you can bring more to the marriage that you're responsible for?
Um, Advisor. Uh,
Do you have a computer near you?
yes.
Okay. I want you to pull up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Oh, you know what I can do? Because I want you to see that you actually can provide these things for your family. That you're responsible to making sure that your family has a safe space and that you have a safe space. That your wife should be able to come talk to you and you not be in your feelings.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I'm typically never one to get into that place of my feelings if somebody says something to me.
No, we're not talking. So you just, so you remember you talked about earlier in the conversation that she used to push your buttons.
Well, I would say in the beginning, I won't. That's why I said I won't call it pushing more of a button. It's more of trying to figure out each other's communication skills. Because I'm more of a direct, to the point. Let's get it out the way. She's more of a I'm gonna keep it to myself, and
Right,
I'm gonna say it when it's more of a calm when she's more calm. And
right,
that's something that we had to learn because I'm like, hey, let's talk about this, and she's like, oh, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll talk about it later. And I'm like,
right,
later when, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's figure it out right now. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me right now. Don't wait till 2 weeks later to bring up something that I did. That was more of a thing. So I'm not really one to get in my feelings. I just kind of like to just, be more direct with me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong so I could try to
right.
correct it, you know.
Okay. Well, the what I learned is that she's never going to ask you to do something you can't do. She's never going to ask you to do something that you cannot do. I'll give you an example. Can you tell me the two things on your list that you were saying? She didn't ask you to. She know you can plan, right? And she know you can be more romantic. She know those things are in you,
Yeah,
right? Ain't nothing on the list. She didn't ask you to fly. She didn't even tell you to fly. She didn't tell you to fly to across the street, or wave your arms and fly across the street. She know you can't do that, but she asked you to do something that she know you can do.
true.
And what I saw was that I had a 20, right? Church I had 20. And so the frustrating part is that I'm walking around with my chest poked out because I'm Lieutenant Commander of the United States Navy. And I go through the gate, folk salute me. But I got a 20 as a husband,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm saying to you is that I'm gonna give you some things I'm gonna give you two things that you can take home with you that will help you, right? And one of those things is I want you to, when you talk to her, you ask her, "Hey, are you in your best space?" Right?
Hmm.
And what happens? What do you think you do if she say, "Yeah, I'm in my best space"?
You said, what do I do?
Yeah, what would you do if she say, "Yeah, I'm in my best space"?
I'll ask her, what does that look like?
Okay. And then so she say, "Well, I'm just feeling good." And then so when that happens, right? Your follow up from this point on, right? Because I want you to be focused on experiencing your wife in her best space, right?
Okay.
And it's not going to be at 100%, right? It's not going to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
But you can get to 90%, right? Just strive for 90. Just be a husband, not 100 husband. Not just get the A, get the 90%. You good, right? And then so when she said that she's not in her best space, then you're like, "Hey, babe, is there anything I can do to get you to your best space? Is there anything I can do?" Right? And we know that she's going to ask you to do is that's something that you can do.
Man, I do the exact thing that you're saying, and
Okay.
a lot of times she'll be like, "You're doing good," because I do stuff that she doesn't. A lot of times she don't think that she needs, or she don't
Right.
think it's important. You know what I mean? Until she see me do it, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know." It could be something small as just like washing her clothes. You know what I mean? If
Right.
I know
Hmm.
she's having a rough day, kind of stuff. Most I I know for a fact a lot of men don't even touch the clothes. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
I'm good with putting it in the washer and the dryer, and she's good with folding it. So
Right.
we developed that system. So for me, it's just if I see it's laxing or something or whatever the case is, I'll jump and take the initiative to do it.
Hmm.
And a lot of times she's not even thinking that it's important, but when she sees me do it, she's like, "Oh, you know, thank you." You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
there's a lot
That's
of
good
times
stuff.
that I go above and beyond in other areas that may not necessarily mean uh being romantic. I mean, you know, as far as like active romance and stuff like that, I have gotten better
Hmm.
from the beginning of the relationship. I've gotten better. It's still
Hmm.
work I gotta put in, but um like you said, it's not something that I can't do.
Right. And I think the biggest part that I want you to also, we talked about being in her best space, right?
Yeah.
Right. That you asking about her best space, right? And then because we already identified that there's not many safe spaces for black women, and black men don't make the list of safe spaces for black women, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to register as a safe space for your wife consistently. And how do you do that? How do you register? You know how you go down and register to vote? Make sure you got your voter ID card, right? That right?
Hmm.
How do you think that you can register with your wife as a safe space?
I think having those uncomfortable conversations. Those
Ooh.
those uh those ego testing conversations. I mean, as a man, you have a lot of things that test your ego and hurt your pride a lot of times.
Right.
I take it
So
on I take it on the
mhm.
chin to be able to have those conversations that may hurt my ego at the time, but will probably make me a better person after the fact.
Right. So when it's I and the thing is now when I work with men and they talk about their manhood and their ego and stuff, I often ask them, I want you to put your ego on the table so I can see where she crushed your manhood. I want to see it. Put it on the table. Let me see it. Right?
Yeah,
They can't do it. So oftentimes we're defending somebody that don't even exist.
you're right.
And unless you um bring it up, right? Unless you bring up this imaginary friend who got hurt, that you can't even show us where he got hurt. You can't even you filling out a claim and you can't even show damages. I can explain what happened. No, I want you to show me where the damages are. Do you have a picture? Do you have evidence? Do you have any evidence that that happened? That was hurt? It's the only thing you telling what you saw. And she was like, I was just trying to present this information to him. But for some reason, he brought this guy in here who keeps, for some reason, he doesn't realize I'm the queen. And when I present something that everybody under the queen's authority, right?
Hmm.
Because she's bringing the stuff to the king, right? And then you bring this little guy in here who wants to be disrespectful to the queen. And then he gets his feelings hurt, and you're like, oh my gosh. All right. So what we're gonna do, right? In order to register as a safe space, right? I want you to just to say to her, hey, sweetie, is there anything you like to share? Right? You just say, hey, is there anything you like to share? She's like, no, there's nothing I want to share right now. I'm like, well, hey, I want you to know that I just gave you a safe space to say whatever you want to say, and I already put my ego in check. I already put my feeling in check, so they ain't even here. It's just me and you, baby. Just
Yeah,
the two of us.
I've done that. I mean,
Right.
I'll
But
give you an example
mm-hmm,
of a safe space that I've for me. I knew for her it was difficult having a kid.
mm-hmm,
Not I would say difficult. I think mentally she was kind of on the fence just because
mm-hmm,
of the black pregnancy mortality
mm-hmm.
rate in black
Right.
women.
Mm-hmm,
Um, so when she found out she was pregnant, or I
mm-hmm.
kind of told her she was,
Right.
and she took like seven of those pregnancy tests. Yeah, she couldn't
Right.
believe it. She couldn't believe it. I knew it was gonna be a difficult hill to climb, not
Mm-hmm,
just for her, but for me. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Right.
And the like little man you said is he came around like and it's not something that I really shared with her. It's something that
Mm-hmm.
I had to internalize in myself and say, hey, like
Uh-huh.
why is it so difficult for her to have a kid? Like does she not want to have my baby? That's what
Mm-hmm.
the little man in me said, right?
Right.
The bigger man said, that this is a difficult space for her.
Right.
So I didn't present that to her.
Mm-hmm.
Later on in the pregnancy, when I kind of made was like, hey, tell me something. Did you want to did you want to have an abortion? Did you even think about having an abortion? And we that's I created a safe space
Mm-hmm.
beforehand before I asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
But I asked her the question, and she said I did, which didn't
Mm-hmm.
hurt my feelings because I knew that she did. You know what I mean? Like just
Right.
just
Right.
just
Right.
knowing her, I kind of knew that that she did,
Mhm.
and that just comes from me paying attention to her and the things that
Mhm.
she says. So my ego wasn't hurt necessarily. So I
Mhm.
internalized a lot of my ego things, and I kind of, you know, talk myself through that versus lashing out, because a lot of people
Mhm.
would lash out. You know, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that shit right now. Oh, I don't want to talk about this right now,
Right.
or whatever the case is. I
Mhm.
don't. That's not something I do. You know, no matter how difficult the discussion is, let's have the discussion. You know, we may not
Right.
agree on everything, but let's at least have the discord to find out where that place that we could actually meet at.
Okay.
You know,
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna okay, so now that you provided a safe so you provided a safe space 4 months ago, five
yeah,
months ago, right?
that was just for that instance.
That was just for that instant. I got it. But what I'm saying is that remember you have to continue to register, right?
Yeah,
Because and when you do this, right, you take the and because you've completed all your assignments, right, you got all your stuff done, you ain't concerned about her complaining about something, right? And if she complaining about something because you want to be a husband, you gonna get it done. And watch this, the way that she want to do it, that she want it done,
yeah,
because that's her stuff. And if I'm giving you something right now is like golden, right? When she asks you to do something, right, you should be able to get your jobs done like you get your jobs done for your clients within 1 hour. Cause you that dynamic dude, right? You motivational speaking all around the world,
yeah,
right? You should be able to get it done within 1 hour and get it done the way she wants it done, right? I saw this happen right before my eyes, right? Remember I told you I saw the guy going in and out of my house, right?
yeah,
He was not working in my house, right? He wasn't mowing the lawn. He wasn't doing anything else. Everything was going just the way she wanted it done. And she was happy with him. And so I like, oh my gosh, here I am putting all this work in, right? And she ain't even want this. And had I just completed my assignments, right? The way she wanted it done, which I could have done them, right? Because I'm an elite dude. It's just that I let that ego get in the way. I let that, that little man get in the way. Or I wanted to come up with creative ideas on a job that you don't work. Now you ain't even a supervisor at the job. You have no authority, and you at her on her job, right? This is me. I'm talking on her job, trying to put in proposals for a project that you heard about. And so as you're moving forward, man, Frankie, I'm telling you, um, it's okay to get it done the way she wants it done because you want to get a good grade, right?
yeah.
And when you get a good grade, when you make the dean's list, what happens? Hmm?
You should get honor roll.
You when you get the honor roll, your kid come on with the honor roll. Guess what? You're gonna be happy, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're gonna be doing some exciting stuff, right? She get a little horny when she see the guy who made the president's list, right? Sustaining superior performance over 17 years, right? I got a safe space where I know I can come talk to my husband about anything. His
yeah,
his heart don't race when I say I gotta talk to him because he is a safe space for me, and I can just come to him. I don't care what it is. He gonna listen, and because he know I'm on his side. He gonna listen. I'm just gonna bring something to him, and he gonna take care of it within an hour. And we going on upstairs and get in the tub, right?
true.
Right, and so that's the other thing too, right? Um, so we looked at one, registering for a safe space, right? Providing that safe space. Hey, is there anything you like to share? And then there were times she's like, no, I don't have anything. that I want to share. And then so your response to that is, okay, hey, listen up, baby. The moment that you have something you want to share, you bring it to me. You let me know I'm here. I want to provide a safe space for you to talk, share your feelings. And I want you to feel, I want you to know that you are right how you feel. So that's what I'm gonna do for you.
Okay.
Because I'm that dude. You can come to me anything. Cause I got you. I'm your husband. Right? You walk around with that kind of confidence, man. You know you're getting all your stuff done. Everything else starts getting better. Kisses become better. Rubs become better, right? Right?
Yep.
Other things happen, right? You know, just going on upstairs and just take it off. you you made the things list again. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
But that happens when you are a high reliable partner, right? And so when you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I want you to look at that safety need, right? And then that emotional need of feeling of loving and belonging. And you all will not feel a sense of loving and belonging if you don't feel safe, right? So now in my do you have a question? You want to have a comment? Right.
Um, what about the other side of that?
What side?
The man side of that.
Beautiful. Remember you're in a reciprocal relationship
Yeah.
that she has to reciprocate. Period. You make sure that, hey, listen, hey, baby, I need a safe space to be able to talk to you about how I'm feeling without you disagreeing. Because I don't disagree with you no more. The days of disagreeing with the smartest woman I found in my life is over,
Yeah.
right? I ain't disagreeing with her. No, you kidding me? Oh, you just a yes man. No, no, I'm not. I let her be right, and I be right when it's my turn. It ain't my turn to be right, right?
Yeah.
It ain't my turn. And when you go home, she gonna be like, "Babe, come here. You make me feel like I belong to you. I feel so safe. I love how this relationship, how our marriage is, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna lay hands on you, right? And then just think about now that she can share those things, and you already know that she got 14 arousal zones, right?
Hmm.
And we can get together and talk more about that. Um, it's a whole nother experience that you can have, right, with your wife, and it can be fun
Yeah.
forever because she has a unique, intimate expression. And you also have a unique, intimate expression that, and the only way you're gonna be able to see it if you provide a safe space for her to show it to you and uncover. That's why we have unveiling connections. You're gonna unveil this beautiful woman, right? I'm talking about amazing. Now you getting ready to get a woman you've never had in your life.
Yep.
You are about, I'm talking about like in 2 days, right? Tomorrow, you're going to get a woman you've never had in your life. So you got to start over learning.
Yeah.
And one way you learn is to show up for class, take notes, study, be prepared for the test, and then complete it the way she wanted done. If you don't get anything else from this here, right? Complete the task the way she wanted done. Don't worry about all the other stuff. This the way she want. This is her stuff because of her stuff. It's her stuff. It ain't your stuff. You take care of your car the way you take care of your car.
Yeah.
right? You get up and fix your stuff whenever you want to fix your stuff. You fix your stuff the way you want it done. Nobody put their hands on it. All right. All right. Does any so what are our take home assignments?
To study, study my wife more, make sure I pass the test and the stuff that she wants me to do, not the stuff that feeds my ego.
Right. Because
Um,
your ego don't is not even you can't even hug them.
true.
Right.
Yep.
And so we got remember we talked about the main one thing is that you gotta you deserve a safe space, which I didn't know that I was entitled to a safe space, right?
Yeah.
You deserve a safe space and for you to be right,
Yeah.
right? How you feel is right. No, you don't feel that way. That's not right. No, that's how I saw it, right? And how I saw it is right. What you did triggered me, right? You went with her when she was down in a we learned today someone grew up in a trap house. You weren't there, so you don't know what triggers me, what I see right now that could trigger me.
Yeah.
And all I ask is that you don't trigger me, baby. Don't do that because I don't want to experience that anymore. I don't want to relive that anymore. Can you not do that, please? Because it hurts, right?
Yeah.
And the same goes for you. Hey, baby, I don't want to be triggered. I want to be in my best space with you, right?
Got
What do we talk? What do we say, Frank? You think we can do this? We can have this talk again. We can talk more.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get on the schedule. Get on the schedule. We'll have you back. We love to have you there. We wanna definitely want you to come back and tell us how the baby's doing.
Yeah. For sure.
Right. Oh my God, that's gonna be exciting because guess what? You about to change too.
Yep.
And
Gonna
this
be
is what I
exciting.
want you. Huh, this is what I want you to also know. Right. That's her baby. She do with her baby how she want to do with her baby, right?
Yeah.
And that's your baby. And you do how your baby, you do with your baby when you want the way you want to do your baby.
Got you.
When you're with your baby, then you take your baby and you do whatever you want to do with your baby, right?
Yeah.
Because oftentimes folk get upset. I don't agree the way she raising our son. Well, well, why don't you take your son and go raise him. He gonna learn from you. Either he's not listening to you anyway. He's either gonna be like you or he's gonna be the opposite of you.
Yeah.
So depending on how you provide a safe space for your son or your daughter, will determine whether or not they want to be just like you or not. Right.
True.
All right. All right, man. So we've done a lot. It's an hour and 13 minutes. We went over.
Man, I
But this
appreciate
was
the
good.
wisdom.
Huh?
No, I said I appreciate the wisdom.
Yes, absolutely. Like I say, man, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, and that's where I is, and that's where I am. I want to make sure that you do not end up on this side of the relationship
Yeah.
again. All right, we're getting ready to close out the show. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. Intimate discoveries, unveiling connections. Where every episode is one step closer to you experiencing the fullness and closeness in relationships. I am your host, Champ Franklin, and thank you for attending our broadcast. And we look forward to having you back again.
Yeah, I will
All
be
right.
back. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And just let me know. All right. Take care.
All right, you too.
You too. Bye.